Happy Friday, everybody. So last night, Chris and I saw Mockingjay, Part 1, the final installment of the Hunger Games series.
We decided to break the last book of the Hunger Games into 2 films because that's what everyone's done since Harry Potter.
The cool thing to do.
It is the cool thing to do and to make money.
Yeah.
So Blaze and I went in last night. We both read the books. Kind of low expectations because Mockingjay, at least for me, and I think for you, right?
Generally, I think it generally considered
It's the worst book of the series. Not a lot. Feels like not a lot really happens.
Really changes up the dynamic of what the first 2 books are about.
We had low expectations going in, but I was personally pleasantly surprised by what we saw. So the main story for Mockingjay Part 1, if you don't know, won't get into any major spoilers here, takes place obviously right after catching fire. District 12 is gone. Katniss has been taken to District 13, which everyone had believed was gone, but actually does exist, and it's run by President Coin, who is played by Julianne Moore. Her, along with Plutarch, who's played by the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman.
R.I.P.
Exactly, yeah. Haymitch, played by Woody Harrelson. Even Effie, played by Elizabeth Banks. They're all there, kind of in the command center. And basically the whole movie is almost like a propaganda type war between District 13 and the Capitol. Overall, I thought, it did a very good job of exploring, Katniss's emotion in this position. I thought Jennifer Lawrence, gave a solid performance, but I'd have to say that the standouts for this movie, it's not the adult cast, but the older cast. Woody Harrelson, Jeffrey Wright, Philip Seymour Hoffman especially, and one of his last roles is fantastic.
Yeah, he was my favorite in the movie.
Yeah, I'd agree, and really, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of setup. That's what this is. But it's good setup, I would say. I was pleasantly, again, as I said, I was pleasantly surprised by how well it was done. A lot of that is due to the directing from Francis Lawrence and the cinematography. It's just gorgeous. This doesn't look like the other 2 Hunger Games films. I think that's what I enjoyed most about the movie. Were the visuals and the fact too that you and I were talking about this last night. We're not stuck in Katniss's head all the whole time. And that's why I think these movies play better than the books.
Yeah, that's why I not hated the books, but really disliked a lot of the books because I just felt like they really go for that young adult sort of love triangle feeling. And as you said, that's not. It doesn't take away from the story, but it just kind of gets frustrating at times to be stuck in Katniss's head. And I completely agree. As we talked about last night, that the visuals really kind of saved this book almost to make me appreciate it more because it was nice to see all of the different environments, especially because for everything going on at the time with the story, you get these weird, you see a lot of wreckage and rubble, but then all of a sudden you get these very beautiful environmental scenes.
So you see all the different districts and the people reacting to Katniss, reacting to the Capitol, and just through all of those. Through getting to see all that instead of just hear about it on the page or read about it through Katniss's thoughts, I thought was great, and it made the story richer. We're not just hearing about these things. It's not I heard that District 7's doing this. We're seeing it. We're seeing this kind of rebellion come alive, and it makes you care about it so much more. And I think that's why I found this movie to be a lot more compelling than I thought.
I also really liked a lot of the action sequences.
Yes.
I thought they were really well done. Whether it's the as you see in the previews, you see the quick clip of Katniss shooting down a stealth bomber plane, and but that entire scene I really enjoyed in the movie. And then at the end, as we said, we won't mention any spoilers, but if you've read the books, sort of there's this almost dark spy thrilling scene that I thought was really well done. They sort of paralleled it with a character giving a speech.
Yep.
And I just really liked how they combined those 2 elements and made the scene feel very thrilling and suspenseful. One of my other favorite parts of the movie was actually Liam Hemsworth.
Okay.
Not necessarily that he was speaking all that much all the time, but I just thought that he physically was doing a great job with all the scenes he was in and sort of his interaction and how he feels towards Katniss in the war now. I actually was really impressed with that, and I thought he did a great job of representing the character as closely as you see him in the books.
It all just kind of came together, and I'm shocked by how much I enjoyed it. It definitely is a setup movie. There are parts where it kind of does It does drag a little bit. It takes a little bit to really get into the story. And it is a part one, so the ending kind of it leaves you going like, oh, what is gonna happen next?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't as high on it as you,
Yeah.
but I was satisfied. It was I would say for me personally slightly above average. It exceeded my expectations in a good way.
Go see it, especially if you've seen the other two films. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely check it out. And I'm gonna give it. I'm on like the borderline here. I'm gonna give it, and we'll probably never do this again, a B/B plus. Because I went in with low expectations. It surprised me, and for taking such a book that I am kind of will never read again and making it into a movie that I would very happily watch again, I think it deserves credit. So B/B plus. B as like a regular movie. B plus for an adaptation.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give it a B minus because, as I said, slightly above average, exceeded my expectations, but still thought it was the weakest one, and again, just the content, not as big of a fan.
We want to hear you guys' thoughts as well about Mockingjay Part 1. Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Comment, let us know. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube page here, Students of Cinema. Visit studentsofcinema.com. Follow us on Twitter. We need to get a
My
Facebook
Twitter.
page.
Blaze Hopkins.
My Twitter as well.
Chris's Twitter.
At CKinger13. And keep watching.
Yeah, go watch the movies.
Yep. Do, do, do.